والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. Allah Akbar. So previously there was the warning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to capitulate to the machinations of the people of the book and their efforts to remove you from the auspices of Islam and take you out of deen and bring you along with them towards the path of Jahim, towards the fire of hell. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us what is the course of action. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatih. O you people of Iman, O you people of belief. Adopt taqwa. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be cognizant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the meaning of taqwa is, we've talked about that quite extensively, and there's no end to the ramifications of taqwa. Basically to create between you and the anger and the adab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His displeasure a barrier, and that is of various stages, the least of which is to put a barrier between you and the disbelief of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or associating partners, kufr, shirk. So taqwa, abstaining from shirk, and then a higher level abstaining from all that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits, and performing all that which, as far as possible, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoins, and then ultimately to save one's heart and mind from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and continuous focus and attention to Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the highest stage of taqwa. So, adopt taqwa, and do not die except in the state of Islam. Do not die except while you are Muslims. So how do we do that? We don't know when we're going to die. How do we ensure that we're going to die as Muslims? Continuously be Muslims. That's it. Very simple. Remain consistently connected and remain consistently in a state of submission until death overtake you. And as we live, we'll die. And as we die, we'll be risen and resurrected. And so how is that to be done? Modus operandi, wa'tasimu bihablillahi jami'an wa la tafarraqu. So these remain connected to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? His book, the sunnah of His Rasul, His deen. Remain connected jami'an, collectively, not simply by yourself. No man is an island, as they say. The wolf eats the lone sheep. So remain collectively. The hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with the Jamaat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's special help and assistance is with the group, is with the Jamaat, is with the collective. So hold fast to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala collectively, jami'an. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Do not create divisions among yourselves. Okay, so what does that mean? It means do not create divisions among yourselves in basics. We have a common denominators. There is going to be diversity of opinion that is healthy and that is very positive, and that gives us a huge scope. And that's always been the view and the outlook of traditional Islam and our scholars and our aslaf. We have a diversity of opinions and views on things, which gives us a very large scope of action and implementation. You know, this concept that truth is one and we have to adopt one way. That's not what is inferred here. One way in terms of basics. There is one belief set. Well, Allah is one. There's no room for diversion here or diversity here. Allah is one. There's 5 times salat. There's 5 arkan. There's basics. How we're going to pray, there's a diversity. How we're going to do various things, there's a great diversity, and that's all part of our tradition, and that's all part of the wonderful tradition that we have. So we embrace that in totality, holistically, right? And therefore, the schools of thought, we have some very sort of narrow-minded, non-understanding individuals, and they've become groups now that we have to follow one particular way. Either we raise our hands, we don't raise our hands, we say Ameen, we don't say Ameen. This is all sunnah. This is all part. If we say do this and don't, that means that part of the sunnah of Rasulullah is going to die. Everything that the Rasulullah has done, has ordered, has prohibited, has accepted, and has encouraged, it's all alive in the ummah. Not everybody is doing everything, but all of it is being done by the collective, and that is a wonderful thing. So we should understand that. That is not, وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا, and don't divide, don't become divisive among one another. This is not in that. That has nothing to do with that. That is وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ جَمِيعًا, with all of its diversity. Okay? We need to understand that very, very clearly. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ, and remember the great ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alaykum, particularly now addressing, if you remember yesterday we talked about that, that instigation from that Yahudi to get the Aus and the Khazraj to again start fighting as they had been doing previously. And that's how human beings will be if they don't collect and they don't join together on deen. They will be fighting. Everybody wants that I should follow what I believe and everybody should follow me. So there's going to be 20 people and 20 different diverging opinions. So we all come together on what Allah wants, not what I want and He wants and she wants and they wants or it wants. So in that way we can save ourselves, and this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering us to do. And remember the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by giving you this deen that has joined your hearts and your minds and made you a real collective. Right? And remember that you had been on the verge of falling into the hellfire, shafa hufra. You were on the edge of the brink of a huge pit, the bottom of which is the fire of Jahannam. You would have fallen into it had you remained on the path that you were, on the course that you were treading. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by His special mercy, has retrieved you from that. Okay? فَأَنْقَذَكُم مِّنَّا, so He saved you from that. كَذَلِكَ, in this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes clear His signs and clearly expresses and clarifies and elucidates his signs, so that perhaps you will be guided. The perhaps is not from the side of Allah. He definitely will guide us if we fulfill the conditions. The perhaps is from us. Perhaps if we do it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is definitely going to fulfill His side of it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and give us understanding and tawfiq for amal. Ameen. Thumma ameen. Wa akhir da'wana. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum